Hello YouTube, I'm the Rad Veteran. Games have always found ways to terrify us in ways that no other medium can. One of the primary sources are the terrifying enemies you fight in these games. Enemies can be terrifying for many reasons, and those reasons are what I want to highlight on this list. Now, for a terrifying enemy to be on this list, it has to appear multiple times in its game and it also has to be killable. So enemies like Alma from Fear 2 or maybe the creatures from Amnesia will not be on this list. With that said, let's begin. The Halo games have always put you through incredibly hectic situations, but none put you through a more terrifying situation than the Hunters. The Hunters in Halo 3 are not only terrifying because of their large presence, but they can make a hectic situation seem even more hectic. Their melee attacks can deliver massive damage up close. So then what do? Do you just take them down from a distance? Well, unless you want to deal with the unlimited amount of missiles it fires from its arm. If you don't have heavy explosives equipped, these things can be difficult to take down due to their weak points being on their backs. And God help you if you have to take down more than one of these things unequipped. While Hunters you can at least see coming, the Taken from Alan Wake can literally appear out of nowhere. The Taken are the lovely citizens of Bright Falls possessed by the Dark Presence. These creatures can appear from any direction and they will attempt to surround you and beat you down with various lumberjack equipment. Not only that, but the Dark Presence can cause the Taken to move incredibly fast, grow in size, and even wield deadlier weapons. What makes these monsters so effectively terrifying is that throughout the entire game, you really feel that they could tear you limb from limb if you let them get too close. The Resident Evil series isn't exactly known for its horror, especially nowadays. But I remember one enemy that stuck out to me as one of the most terrifying things in the series. The Regenerators from Resident Evil 4. This enemy has a suspenseful build-up and a terrifying first appearance. Plus, this creature is near unkillable. As its name suggests, it can regenerate all of its limbs when you shoot them off. The only way to kill this demonic monster is to find the thermal scope for your sniper rifle and shoot the parasitic creatures off of its body. These things definitely become less of a threat once you get the thermal scope, which is why they are this low on the list. But there is no denying the terror you feel first encountering these enemies. I mean, just look at them! The Regenerators proved that a creature can be incredibly scary, no matter how slow it is. But this also means it can be easy to run away from them. Though this next enemy is a bit of an exception. That's right, number 7 are the Re-Deads from the Legend of Zelda series. You can run away from some enemies, but if you get too close to a Re-Dead, they will let out a terrifying shriek that will freeze Link in place. When you are frozen, they will attempt to hug you, then eat your brains. These monsters scared the hell out of me when I was a child, and they manage to still scare me to this day. Aw, look, it's Mario. These games aren't so bad. How could there possibly be anything terrifying in these games? These motherfuckers define panicky situations. Whenever you are trapped in the water in Mario 3, you are pretty much screwed. Unless you can get used to the non-water level swimming controls, which are terrible. These guys can also kill you in one hit no matter what power-up you have, but can you kill them? Yes, but they respawn right after. This game hates me. The Metroid series has always done a good job building you up to the appearance of its terrifying monsters. But many of these monsters are bosses. Do these games effectively build suspense for a reoccurring enemy? Well, they do in the form of the Metroids. Why are these creatures terrifying? Well, first of all, if they latch onto you, they can take away a lot of your health. They are also incredibly quick, and you need to be quick also with your beam shots, or else you're gonna have a bad day. These things have always made some terrifying appearances in the entire series of Metroid games. The Metroids can also grow in size and evolve into even more terrifying creatures. The Metroid series is named after these creatures. A fitting title, don't you agree? Pinky is one of the many terrifying hellspawn creatures from Doom 3. These half-mechanical dog creatures from hell can move incredibly fast, kill you incredibly fast, and are damn menacing. The Pinky remains effectively terrifying throughout the entire game because you barely encounter it. But when you do encounter it, you better be prepared. Have role-playing games ever been scary? Can a game that is based around strategy be scary? Well, not usually, unless you're dealing with the Deathclaws from Fallout. The motherfucking Deathclaws are your worst nightmare in the wasteland. If one of these things see you, and you are unprepared, you are pretty much screwed. These things can run faster than you, cut you up with a small number of swipes, and they are incredibly resilient to your standard weapons. Worst of all, the Deathclaws usually attack you in packs. Sometimes these packs include even bigger and meaner Deathclaws. These creatures are terrifying just because they are flat out tough. And they are the number one thing you do not want to piss off in Fallout. Imagine the most beautiful thing in the galaxy. Imagine that creature being turned into a horrible abomination. With that, you have the Banshee. The Banshees are what happens when the Reapers indoctrinate the Asari. These terrifying creatures makes its presence known with its disturbing and loud scream. These enemies teleport constantly to pursue you, in hopes of getting close to you to shove its claw through your stomach. If you aren't close enough for its insta-kill attack, it will throw biotic orbs at you that require good timing to dodge, and if you get hit by one of them, they can poison you. Added with the fact that they are friggin' tanks, makes these enemies not only terrifying, but damn terrifying, especially on the harder difficulties. So what could possibly be more terrifying than these monsters? You may have noticed that many of these enemies share common traits. Stuff like being tanks, the ability to move or kill quickly, and that they usually make their presence known in a horrifying way, like with a specific sound. Number 1 uses all of these traits to the fullest. Number 1 are the tanks from the Left 4 Dead series. These fearsome creatures make their presence known not only with their scream, but also their music. These creatures are also pretty much named after their durability rating, as they have a ton of health and take a while to kill. With one punch, these creatures can send you flying across the map, separating you from the aid of your teammates. If you manage to keep your distance from their super punch, they can throw giant rocks towards you that do a huge load of damage. If you play a Left 4 Dead map on Expert and you see one of these, you are almost guaranteed a game over, as these enemies can turn a smooth run on that map to pure chaos. These creatures stay terrifying, and they will always be terrifying in Left 4 Dead. I'm the Rad Veteran, and that concludes my first ever countdown.